If you talk about marketing technology, that was not in our lexicon, probably 5 years ago. How do you define marketing technology? And tell us about the business. Tell us what exactly you guys are doing.
Yeah, look, maybe not 20 years ago, but I think, if you think about traditional marketing was, hey, we used to buy a newspaper ad, a magazine ad, right? Nowadays, it's all about how technology helps us be focused, laser focused, to get the advertisement to the right end consumer. That's all it is, right? We're just thinking about how do we do that more efficiently, just like how ChatGPT can help you write a essay for your kids' homework much easier.
When you and I talked last week, I think it was, about passive advertising, active advertising.
Yeah.
Passive advertising when you're driving home, listening to the carpet cleaning commercial. Active advertising when you used to thumb through a magazine. What do we call the current? Because I always thought, radio, king of all media, that listening to the same carpet cleaning ad for 6 months in a row creates recall and recognition, but you can't ever remember the name of the damn thing. But you can remember Winston tastes good.
Like it should.
Excuse me.
Yeah, see? Right there.
Like a cigarette should, you jack. Thanks
That
for killing
too.
my
It's
analogy.
very close, though.
Thanks for killing my
was.
analogy. But so is the recall and recognition, which is everything in advertising now, is that based upon frequency? Is it based upon passive, active, or is it based upon the fact that, I remember being on TV 25 years ago saying, what do I need a website for? I'm on TV. And suddenly realize, if you don't use the entire spectrum of what's on the table, you're losing money, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a combination of frequency and right place, right time, right? At the end of the day, average person takes 3 to 6 touch points of seeing an advertisement in the digital ecosystem just specifically to transact, and it's never usually the first time, right? And by the way, that first time might be on Instagram, but the second time might be somewhere different on your CCTV or wherever it is that you might be seeing, that sort of thing.
How did the whole, ask apps not to track thing that Apple put in place, how did that affect?
What do you say? Ask app.
Every time you get a new app, it says ask not to track. So,
Right.
What does that mean?
It means that marketers can't track your.
Well, what the hell good are you then?
Well, right. But they, because some people didn't want to be tracked, but I'm of the thought that I like to be tracked because I want to be
because it's
served
gonna-
ads
yeah,
that
right.
I like.
You're going to give us, what was that tequila company? You're going to give us that.
Yeah.
Versus the water company.
Yeah, look, there's this, I don't know, maybe a misconception. I get it. People want to control their data. They want to feel that they have control over privacy. So at the end of the day, a lot of that came from this place of people being concerned that their phone was listening to them, right? It was tracking them. Right. But at the end of the day.
Oh, look, Claude Zdanow calling. You're here.
There's an ad for ONAR.
But the idea is, it's not that we know it's any individual person, right? It's the same reason when a TV show you used to have all this data about how many homes and where were the homes.
We
right?
don't have Nielsen anymore. We don't have Arbitron anymore.
Yeah.
Do you know what it's about? It's about touch points.
Yeah.
Right. So you make it. That's a fantastic point. Arbitron used to give out diaries for radio listeners. Remember when the radio stations used to say,
Oh, yeah.
25 past the hour, AM 600 Cocoa, all the time. So you
Yep.
kept on listening. What time? When you got your diary, and Greg can tell us better than anybody. When you got the diary, you knew AM 600 Cocoa, what time are you listening? Then they gave out personal people meters.
Ugh.
Basically, in all of San Diego, 3 million population,
Yeah.
there's 120 total.
Yeah.
And statistically speaking, they say that's how they're doing it.
What a true cross section.
And by the way, when they compared what people were actually listening to their diaries, it was not even close.
Oh, no.
So to your point, Arbitron tracks radio, Nielsen tracks television. But those are gone the way of the dodo because now it comes down to what's called a CPM model, which means that, for example, we're in 125 million TV homes, plus we're everywhere else. Our advertisers pay on the basis of the opportunity to watch, not necessarily who's watching. Now, NBC, ABC, CBS, totally different story. That's how you have to sell, though, isn't it?
A little bit, yeah. And then, it even gets more specific, right? So because most people say, I don't care, I want customized ads, I want things that actually I want, right? We're able to dial it down way more specifically. We can say men or women between the ages of this and this, located in this geography, right?
So you don't have to be tracked for
It
that.
can get very
You're just coming
specific
for
and
this.
granular.
Yes,
right?
it can get incredibly specific.
Yeah.
It can be based on terms, things you like, interactions,
And how
content
long
you
they've
post.
watched your video. I mean, you can dial
Why
in.
does that matter, though?
Because you may see like the color and then you look at it for 2 seconds, but then you bounce before the message has got across, right? So
Yeah, so
people
it's about data points, right? And the idea is you can kind of take these different data points and start to build cohorts of people that you want to advertise to back to, instead of just machine gunning, hoping somebody sees it and wants to buy your product. You can give the right advertisement to somebody who actually wants to buy your product at the right time.
Okay, hey, Jared, our Emmy Award-winning director, Jared Coleman. Jared, can you bring up once again the screen that showed their clientele on the big screen here? I have a question about that because I saw some brands here like Paso Robles Wine,
Yeah.
Winery and stuff like that. What I want to know is, so there you go. So you got a number of brands, some pretty well known up there. Paso Robles Wine Country, for example. Do you dictate to them best practices in terms of who they should reach, or do they tell that to you, or how to describe sort of that relationship you have with clients?
Yeah, so Paso Robles Wine Alliance, basically they're, call it a membership organization of all the top wineries, hospitality organizations in Paso, and they want to attract people that want to come visit Paso, right? And so we're targeting people within driving distance, so San Diego, LA, San Francisco, but also, for example, where is there a direct flight to San Luis Obispo County? So maybe we're targeting people in Dallas, right? Where are the other places that we're able to send advertisements to people that like wine, like hospitality, like good food, and then you're starting to drive. So that's what we're
you
doing
also
for them.
do income?
Yeah, you can, in certain cases, you can obviously, depending on the platform where you're running advertisements, yes.
How tight are you with the McAllen people?
Hey, so look over to IQST.
Yeah.
Okay, different game. So talk about the metrics there versus that's a whole, because you guys have to create a new. You start over every time.
What is IQST? Sorry, I don't know.
It's a global telecom business.
It's a
They're
partnership
also-
agreement.
yeah, they're also publicly traded. We have a unique partnership with them because we're both kind of growing public companies. And so we're very, very close with them. We've been involved with them with everything from, even before running an advertisement, how are they telling their story? Because they, not too dissimilar to us, have made a lot of acquisitions. They've bought a lot of different types of businesses, and they're trying to figure out how to communicate that to the world. Plus, they're an international business, so they have offices and team in Europe, the U.S., Central and South America. So for us, we are working with them as a holding company and their individual businesses to kind of build that story and make sure that advertisement gets to the right customer at the right place.
For 2025 looks pretty good for you guys. As much as you can talk to us and tell us, what are you looking most forward to for this year?
Look, I think for this year, I can talk about what we've announced already, right? We announced a pretty exciting partnership last week with Sam Nazarian's SBE. If you're familiar, they own the Mondrian Hotel, SLS Hotels. They sold to Accord for about $950 million a few years ago, right? Big hotel group, restaurant group, very excited working with them. We also announced an acquisition recently, so it'll be the first. We've been talking about doing acquisitions for a year now. It'll be the first of hopefully many that we'll be talking about that are going to help create more scale and more size to our business, right?
The goals for the next 5 years, just more acquisitions. I know you want to uplist to NASDAQ. So
Yeah. So the goal is to get the NASDAQ. We want to do that the old-fashioned way by having enough net income and a good business to do it. And so for us, we need scale to do that. And so we're buying businesses to create scale that we can, hopefully leverage as we go.
Will you come back here every day?
Every day.
I mean, I could ask you 100,000 questions.
All right.
Buddy, thank you so much. We're going to hear a lot more from him as we move here through the next few months. It's really, really interesting to talk about holding companies, especially in the healthcare, but also in this sort of marketing strategy business, because
It's changing.
it changes
all the
every
time,
day
right?
for you.
Every day.
Yeah.
Claude Zdanow, CEO, ONAR Holding Corporation. Of course, their ticker symbol, ONAR. Please come back soon. We will be back soon. Keep it here. Much more Big Biz Show to come.